You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good team. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Eat, Drink, Love After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Eat, Drink, Love After Show.
Should have let bitches love cake.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bing is for doing, and welcome to the Eat, Drink, Love AFTERBUZZ TV After Show. This is Season 1, Episode 1, for starters. I'm Jake DuPree, and along with my beautiful co-hosts, give it up.
Thank you, Jake. I'm Fahnia Thomas.
I'm Kristina Zias.
And I'm Cassidy Gard.
And we are so unbelievably excited to talk about this show. I think that this is a serious Bravo hit. I was talking about this with y'all earlier, but I said I'm really excited about the direction that Bravo's going with shows, because it's actually showing people doing things with their life, not just being crazy and cuckoo on each other. I like that. I like what they're going.
Right.
It's non-ratchet.
Some
Non-ratchet.
serious career ladies, which is nice.
Yeah, it's real, it's relatable, it's what's going on, we're connecting with it, and this show, I am so excited about it.
And for those of you who saw us last week, we were doing Princesses of Long Island. Those queens were not doing anything with their lives. These queens are definitely doing something with their lives. So I'll just start with that. And let's move into the lovely, lovely women that are on part of the show. So we'll start out with Miss Waylynn, the business owner of Faux Nuts. And Faux Nuts is a super huge craze in LA and along a lot of cities in the country, I would think, like maybe New York too. But for those of you that don't know, a faux nut is a donut that is baked or steamed, never fried. Have you ever had one before?
I haven't, but I keep hearing about them.
Oh.
So I'm so excited, and now I absolutely need to try them. We live so close. I mean, it's on 3rd Street.
Yes, it's on 3rd and right there in the heart of it all.
And she's so freaking cute. I hope she's there. I hope she actually works there, because if I go in and I don't see her cute little face and blonde curly hair, I'm gonna die.
Doesn't she not look like she can be Denise Richards' cousin or something?
Denise Richards meets Michelle
Michelle
Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, we love her. She's so cute. I
Mm-hmm.
have a feeling that she actually does go in and work. She seems like it's her baby, it's her business, but I also like the way that she speaks with the people she works with. She's respectful to them, which, you know, that seems as if other people might not be the same.
We should totally go and have a dance party in the morning with her.
Yes, we can
How
do a
much
little,
fun would that
we do a little
be?
special segment with them. I think it's so cute that you can tell she truly loves this job, and she truly is so passionate about it. And she is a highly acclaimed chef. She worked for Bazaar, the restaurant Bazaar, but she kind of got ripped off by them because the guy that she was so passionate about making this dessert, and the owner of it ripped it apart, and she felt heartbroken. And I'm glad that she wanted to do this thing and start her own thing, because I think it's super admirable, especially for people watching, to be like, if you have dream up something, you can make it happen, and that's what she proves. I love it. Anybody else? Y'all are giving me blank stares.
No, we're completely in agreement. I can speak for all of us. We all liked Waylynn.
Yeah.
She was one of our first favorites.
And of course, we need to talk about her love life, because it is about eating and drinking and loving. So, and we see that she's getting all these super cute things from a secret admirer. I kind of was hoping it would be a cute dude. And then we meet it's Stephen Arroyo, who has an amazing restaurant right around the corner from Faux Nuts, but he's not that cute.
No, but he is adorable with his gifts.
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
have you
yes,
ever
yes.
gotten a case of Crush? I've never.
That's
Yeah,
cute.
but
that is
That's
so
really
cute.
cute.
No,
How
That's
many
fun.
other girls is he doing that for? He does seem
Yeah.
a little swarmy.
When we saw him at that little dinner table, he was a creep and a half, too. And I love the way Nina, she was, like, calling him on it.
Yeah, I'm a chef. Like, what? I love that she, here's my card. Get off me. I like when she, cocked her eyebrow to the girls, because that's something that she would do if you were out with your girls. And there was a guy that liked you and was, trying to hit on you.
But at the same time, I kind of felt a little bit bad for Waylynn in that scenario, even though she called it right away, because I know she says she doesn't want to date another chef, but obviously it's very flattering when someone is crushing on you and, sending you all these gifts. So she probably wanted to like him. And then she saw Matt and was like, no,
And
I was right.
This is also not her first foray with Bravo stars, because she used to date Michael Faraggio. Is that how you say his last name?
I think so,
I
yeah.
want to say it right.
Season 6.
And he won Top Chef, and his brother was on the show as well. And he's actually on, is it his brother that's on All Stars this season? One of the two of them is on All Stars. I'm sorry, I can't confirm that for you, but they are. Watch it on Bravo. But they broke up, and she said he was really volatile and super selfish and really into himself. I mean, we see that chefs are kind of like that. I didn't know that they were notorious for that, like for being really selfish and into themselves.
Well, they do seem very controlling. I mean, if you have to oversee all these different pieces, I can see how he'd bring that over. But I love her for just being very clear and direct about it. And she's just like, he brought it home. I wasn't going to deal with it. I said bye-bye, and here I am. And she has no shortage of men at her door waiting.
No way.
The bakery's a new hotspot for, like, picking up people.
And a lady that can bake and is super cute. Hello, like that's the full package right there. I love that.
That's the way a man's heart.
And a business owner. She's got it all going on. Love her.
So I think that's about it for Miss Waylynn. We'll talk about it in a little bit at the birthday party. But Jessica is the next. She's the marketing director for Harry Morton, and that's like the Pink Taco, the Morton Steakhouse, Viper Room, Fuku. I think that's how you say it on Melrose.
Fuku Burger, yeah.
Fuku Burger. And she seems a little uptight.
Let's
go, girls. Let's go.
A little bit.
First of all, how old do you guys think she is?
I think she's probably late 20s.
She does look extremely young. Like she could be. I mean, good for her because she looks like she could be in her early 20s, like late teens. I'm not even kidding you.
For sure.
And she said she's only 5'1" and 100 pounds. So I get how she feels like she has to put power to every punch with everything she says.
And I like that she said, she was like, and I'm a woman, which I think is really important to bring up in this show because the food industry is so much driven by men. I think it's got to be hard to be like this little girl, and she has to. I feel like that's probably why she comes off so like
a pit bull in a skirt.
Yeah, because she has to.
Yeah,
otherwise, she'll just get stepped over and left behind.
Yeah, she's bossy. She is like a boss bitch, and she lets it be known, and she addressed it, and she accepted it. She said, I'm 5'1", and I'm 100 pounds, so I have to bark like I'm 5'7".
But she loves it. I mean, she has a little surveillance camera. I think she kind of thrives on the power control that she's able to oversee what's going on and like step in and deal with it.
But to me, she doesn't seem like that pit bull boss. She's more of like that little yucky chihuahua that you kind of want to be like, shut up.
Yeah,
too soon to tell.
So, I mean, for right now, that's what I saw at least.
So devil's advocate, I think where, she seems very tough, but maybe that tough exterior will show a softer side as the season progresses, hopefully.
I think so too. I'm anxious to see how she's going to progress on the show because it looks like there's going to be a line that's divided amongst the girls, so it'll be nice to see where
starting.
Already starting. Boop. And I also like that she was one of the funniest things. We'll meet Brenda next, but she was setting up Kat with a really cute chef, and then she was setting up Brenda with like a 300-pound chef. And she was like, I didn't see weight in the qualifications. Like with the checklist that you gave me, weight was not an issue. So I like that she's straightforward and honest.
But I
hate
when girlfriends do that, and
like,
they
you know that she's not gonna,
would you go out with that? You wouldn't. It's like, don't
she
play
said he
that.
was on a diet now, so maybe
good for
he's
him.
I love that.
Health
He's on a diet. And she just like weird, like bitchy face.
No, I love that. I thought she was really funny in that little segment.
Brenda's someone that mentions weight a lot, so we'll get to her.
So let's get to her now, actually. Miss Brenda, she's a publicist for chefs and for restaurants, including winner of Top Chef Texas and also the owner of Sprinkles, which is amazing and cool. So let's get into it. And
first of all, Brenda, she seems very tall and like beautiful, but I mean, she's not a girl that I'd be like, wow, that girl, is definitely needing to get on the treadmill. She looks like, I'm not sure why she keeps making comments about her weight because she didn't, to me, seem as if there was anything she had to worry about.
It's probably a situation where she was like really skinny before and she's like gained weight. I'm not saying she's big at all because I think and on camera she looks great
too.
She
just mentions it a lot. So when someone mentions it a lot, you're like, what are they talking about?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like she might be a little bit insecure. I don't know if the other girls are extremely little and petite. I think that they seem to be. So she probably feels like the big girl in the room. Yeah. And I mean, I'm 5'11", so I get it.
And I think she might be the oldest too of the group.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know where ladies get insecure.
Yeah,
Jake knows.
It is.
She might be the oldest.
Yeah. I mean, it's like that's a big thing is the weight and age and.
I also think living in New York, living in New York, and then being single in LA is kind of a tough environment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, how douchebaggy is her ex-husband?
Super douchebaggy.
Well, let's get into that because
so
that is
over
just
the top.
a tragic mess.
Who asks for the ring back and takes your mom's inheritance money?
But also, she told him she was ending the
too.
marriage for. Okay, that's all awful. But she told him she was ending the marriage for telling the dog kite first. I tell my dog Hyper's a lot of times. So a part of me was like, oh.
But you know,
Wait, do you know, I started thinking about that too. I was like, uh-oh. Do I give my dog longer hugs than I give my boyfriend?
My boyfriend for sure says hi to the dog first.
So for me, I thought, okay.
You guys are all in trouble.
I know, check in.
No, I thought if she was, I mean, there had to be more going on to end a marriage over that. But if that was really the breaking point, a part of me thought, well, is the ex-husband story really as it's being told?
I mean, I'm sure it's a deeper lying issue. Like, I'm sure she felt like she
Absolutely.
never got enough attention from him, like, probably in the outside world, too. So she's like, even at home, you say hi to the dog before
You just
say
don't
hi
come
to me.
home and say, I want a divorce. Like,
No.
There's some build-up.
But do you think that, what do you think about her just being married for a year, though? Like, do you think that that's enough time to tell with someone? I mean, I've heard the first year, I'm sure, is extremely tough in a marriage because it's like you're joining assets and joining lives and sharing things. So it's got to be really, really tough.
Do you think she told him the story about how she stowed bacon in her overalls, and he's like, uh-oh, this is over.
It's like, if you're wearing overalls and you have bacon, you might be a lesbian. But, yeah.
She's a little quirky.
Yeah.
She's a little quirky. But I wonder if she's one of those people, you know, those couples that date for like 9 years and then they get married and they get divorced within like 9 months. I mean,
so
how
damn
long
sick
did
of
they
each other,
date
probably.
for? That would help us understand more.
Yeah.
I think she's from New Jersey.
You do?
Yeah.
I agree.
She
I think
is.
she's totally British.
Is she?
now.
She is from.
Oh,
She is.
so
She's
she's
from
from
New
New
Jersey.
Jersey.
So I kind of like her
Cool.
just for being from New Jersey.
But I do like her that she's a straight shooter. I think she kind of has some catty undertones in her intonations, but I don't know. I could see her. I feel like she's going to be the catalyst for some trouble this
drama.
season.
Well, she says, I'm a publicist and I can ruin you if I want.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And I-
Alrighty
claws
then.
out there.
I mean, what do you think about publicists? Do you think sometimes they have like a different attitude towards things whenever they meet people, like a
think
little bit
so.
of importance
Some
that comes with
publicists,
it?
I mean, it's, you know, they can say that about any
Stereotype.
occupation, but generally a lot of publicists, I feel as if she is the typical publicist to me. She's got it all going on, which can be amazing if you're having that go on in your career, but then on the other hand, there's like a double-edged sword, I think.
They gotta choose wisely.
Yeah.
So we meet Miss Brenda's friend, in quotes right there, Kat, who is the editor of Eater LA, and she's a gossip columnist for the food industry, and she can make or break a restaurant in LA. Which I think is very interesting that she has that power, and she's so
Is that true,
so
though?
cute.
I've
I
never
don't
heard
know.
of her. Does she
I don't
really
know.
have that power?
I like you with shade. Right
I mean,
there.
I just, you know, on shows like this, it's like, I have the hottest publicity company, and I'm like, never heard of it. So
You don't even say the name of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, I know this is something we all bond over. We all live in LA. We go out in LA. We work in LA. There's things that you would think we would have heard of, but probably it's very difficult for having it say a certain thing, and then you're like.
And it's also a thing in LA to kind of like puff your chest a little bit and be like, can make or break every restaurant in LA. You know, so.
Do you guys read Eater LA?
I'm
No.
not. No, I don't actually.
To be honest with you, I read it all the time.
That's good.
So
That's
if
awesome.
a restaurant, if there is a bad critique, I do pay attention to that.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So you're familiar with her.
yeah, I am.
Yeah, and
What do you
go.
think? So
That's
what do you
good.
think about the places that she loves and hates? You agree?
Well, I mean, I was gonna get into this a little bit later, and I will. But one of the restaurants, the Foundry, I'll get into it later on with Nina. But I think that her relationship with the with the chefs and the restaurant owners, it's a little tricky because it's hard to be a critic and be a friend at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
True.
You know, how can you be truthful? So I don't know.
I don't
think
think
she's
you
in a hard.
necessarily are,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think she's in a hard spot a lot, and it's kind of like, you know, the whole Yelp thing. Like Yelp gets paid by these restaurants and by advertisers.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Eater LA is the same.
Yeah.
To be honest with you.
And also, I mean, I think this question came up, like, Brenda said Brenda needs Kat to cover her restaurants, and Kat needs Brenda to get insider gossip. And that's a question that comes off a lot, and I'll bring up something in a little bit in News and Gossip about that Tom Colicchio from Top Chef brought up in specifically with Kat Odell. It was this whole Twitter war thing.
Juicy.
But it's a good question that comes up, especially with restaurants, is like, do these critics have ulterior motives too? Because some they're working with their friend at their, that's a publicist for that
Sure.
restaurant, and like, and that they meet people they don't like, so they'll give them a bad review and not be honest in a real way. So it's just interesting to see her side of things too.
And also, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I know when I go to a restaurant, I always ask, what do you recommend? And so many times people have different tastes than you. So I mean, who is she to say, like, this place is amazing and no, it's not? And I always feel like this way, especially with food competition shows, like Top Chef. I'm watching it and I'm like, these people are crazy. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know. It's really a fine line.
Yeah. And I also want to get in this with, especially with girls, I'm going to talk to this with y'all, is how do you feel about girls using basically sex, like themselves, to get ahead? I personally, I'm like, if you've got it, flaunt it, but also it's like women empowerment too. So I just wanted to hear what y'all thought about that, though.
It's a thin line to ride.
I think if you're beautiful and men like want to flirt with you, then that's
Use
empowerment anyways.
Yeah,
You know?
but it's also like, I feel like she's using it to get, I mean, I don't know, it's tough because I feel like she's using it to get scoop a lot of times, and she's using the men, which is, I mean, fine if she wants to, but it's just strange seeing that dynamic on camera specifically.
I see what you're saying. It's perception.
Yeah.
Sometimes for people, perception is reality, and that can be dangerous if they're perceiving you as a flirtatious hoe. So, therefore, that's something that you might want to pull back a little bit if you're overdoing it. I see what you're saying. I'm not calling her a flirtatious hoe. I'm just saying I get what you're saying.
To other girls, it can come off that way.
I think on the other side, it's interesting to see what happens when it's a restaurant and it's a woman owner. How is she going to relate to that woman, get the scoop, get the insider knowledge? Is she going to be as successful? Does she have that girl repertoire?
She does. I saw it. She turned it on when she was sitting in the living room with the other girl, and she went into her Valley mode. Was like, like that. She turned it on.
Yeah. But at the same time, I think
she like blends in with different crowds.
She flips the script and puts on a whole other character.
It depends on, I guess, who she's with, because if she's gonna just talk about this guy I dated, I went out with him and that, like, some girls after a while are just like, what else can we talk about that's not about your sex life? You know, there's other elements that I think get old. So I'm going to be very interested to see how she relates to women business owners who might know exactly why she's coming in and how to relate to it.
She talks to Waylynn.
Yeah, and I like that it shows later in the season that Brenda brings up that a lot of people, whenever they think of Kat Odell, they think you've slept with these people and that's why you're writing these reviews. And I'm like, I feel like that's not a good thing as a woman to have against you, because it's already such a hard world for a woman in the food industry. So it's like, I don't know if she's setting herself up for failure.
Yeah, reputation's preceding her.
I feel like a lot of the people who are saying those things about her are other women who are jealous of her. I'm sorry, like, women want to empower each other, but women also bring each other down too. And I think that she's really pretty, she's charismatic, she has this great job, and yeah, men like her and women like her too. So it's really easy to knock her down.
And she's so cute and fun, and her outfits are cute. I mean, I hate to say like just those vanity things, but she's really a cute
That's
girl.
all we know as of yet.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'm anxious to see what she's gonna bring. But next is, and I love admitting this because Nina is actually my next door neighbor. We share a wall in our apartment, so I'm really excited to see her on this show because she's fun and she's free, and I don't know. I just like that she's a very different person that's never been on a reality show that I've seen before. Like, she seems really cool and like whatever, and I like that she's kind of like, I'm just doing this for myself, like to better myself too.
She created her own opportunity, which is what I like about her. She couldn't get a job because she doesn't have professional training.
Formal training
she saw an area and she made a way for herself. So I like her just for that, like being a go-getter. And
I like that she started doing those small catering events, and I know that she literally cooks all these events in her apartment. Her apartment is very small, but she has an amazing kitchen that she put in there for herself, and it's really cool that she started doing these catering events, and then the West Coast editor of Vanity Fair wrote that article about her, and it's amazing. And you can find it all online. Just Google Nina Clemente and you will find it, because she is.
Did she give you leftovers?
No, I've never had leftovers.
Does it always
smell
like really delicious food?
It does smell delicious. Yeah, it does smell delicious. I will say that. But I like that she's working towards her own restaurant, and she is doing this for herself. I think that all these girls are really cool because they're like really trying to make it happen for themselves by whatever means possible.
And she's putting in the groundwork. I mean, if I were in that kitchen and I was being spoken to that way, I know that's how it is in the kitchens, but she's strong and she's trying and trying. I would probably be crying, like, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
She's staging. I love it. She's going in. She's just getting the experience. And what did you guys think about just the pure honesty? She's like, I don't want to be in LA in 30 years and be like, what have I been doing with my time?
I think that's how we all feel. It's kind of nice hearing somebody on TV be like, that's what I want. Like, I'm here making it happen for myself. It's not where exactly I want to be right now, but I want to be somewhere. And I think that's really cool.
She's making the baby steps to get there.
And I think it's really interesting that she definitely makes a point to say she loves where she's now, but she wants her own restaurant.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I think that's important, especially doing a reality show, because you want to get as much out of it as you can. And obviously this is to further her career. So I think this groundwork will absolutely help her.
And I like this new word that I didn't know before, staging, which is like working for free, like working for knowledge. And she's at the Foundry with Chef Greenspan. And he's like, I'm going to throw you in tonight. Like, here we go. Let's go and see how you do. And she, you know, fumbled around a little bit. And she warned him. She was like, I am a little slow with prep, but I'm just warning you. And he was like, okay. And he gave her a chance. And she seems like she's just down for whatever. Like
she
she's
held
like,
her own in the kitchen with those guys. She
has nothing but respect for him. She's like, yes, chef. Yes, chef. Yes, chef. It's kind of like military style, but in the kitchen. I love the way you can see the passion, the way she speaks about the kitchen. It's crazy. It's like a men's locker room, but then they make this beautiful plate. It's presented perfectly. I loved the way she spoke about it. She was so passionate. I
did too, and I'm really anxious to see what she's going to do this season, because I think she's a really good person to see on TV. Because she's doing it for herself.
I think she's an example, and I don't say that a lot with reality television, but she's a pure example, and I like that a lot.
I want to tell you guys my news and gossip about the Foundry.
Oh.
News and gossip. She's been holding it in. I don't even know what it is.
So I went there. Okay. I went there for dinner one night on a double date. And like I said, I never know what to order because I love food so much and I want everything. So often I'll like choose one or two things and ask the waiter or waitress to choose for me. So that's what happened this one time. And this was, I think, Chef Greenspan. I forget what reality competition show.
He's been on something before.
I think it was Master Chef or one of them.
Like Iron Chef, something like that. I don't know.
And we went like a few weeks after he was eliminated off. So anyways, I ended up getting this turkey with grits dish, which was delicious. Like the most moist turkey I've ever had in my entire life. And I was like, so how'd you cook it? This is unbelievable. And he was very friendly and came out and talked to everyone in the restaurant. He's like, oh, I slow cooked it in butter for 9 hours. And I'm like, oh my goodness, shoot, because I chose like the only two healthier options on the menu. And anyways, to make a long story short, I was sick for a week later. Like really sick, like awful, in pain, sick. And now the Foundry's closed for a facelift. Just saying.
They
like
might have bad grade.
You think, or just it was
That's
so
nasty.
unhealthy?
Like maybe a little bit of both.
Oh my god.
So I think that Nina could be better off on her own. I feel bad saying that.
Yeah, I think it's just experience too. It's not like for real.
Maybe she
thing.
should teach him a thing about healthy cooking.
Nina's like making mousse with silken tofu. I mean, she seems sort of like she's very into like fresh and the farmer's market and really healthy options. So
and
I don't know if
cooking
this like
things in butter for 9 hours.
Yeah.
And I like that. I didn't know this about her, but her dad is Francesco Clemente, who is like a world famous artist, and she said that she found food as like her palette to work with. I thought it was just cool. I'm like, finally we have some educated people on reality TV. Thank you, Jesus. I was like, oh my god.
Okay, I like it because it's educated people, but it's also drama from episode 1, which I know that we've all been waiting for with certain shows to get going on it.
Yeah, and it seems very natural. I'm sure some poking and prodding is done by the producers, but that's reality shows in general. But I feel like this is genuine, like a group of friends who've kind of been put together, but I think that it's pretty honest in its portrayal.
There is some genuine tension. I don't think with reality TV it's that easy to create that tension, but Kat and Brenda,
we keep skirting around it. Should we get to it?
Let's get to that. Topic number 2, my buzz.
Flirting around the drama. Let's talk about it.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Oh yeah. All right, so Brenda and Kat. Brenda is
it's official now.
All right, it's a sound effect now. Brenda is, I don't know what it is with the two of these girls. Do you think that Brenda is maybe like a little bit jealous of Kat?
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what is maybe stemming this whole thing.
I don't know if it's jealousy. I just think that she's just a mad chick. Like there's something going on. She's not happy with her life. And we see it when she's drinking a little bit. She puts homegirl on blast.
I think
all the time.
I think that maybe she might feel that if they were friends, that Kat would take a little bit more responsibility for the restaurants that she's trying to publicize and write about them. And maybe since they have that like friend, but kind of a little bit of a coworker relationship, it's really off.
Well, she said it in the beginning.
Yeah, that little shade moment.
We're just friends for business.
But it's
that's what it is.
Kat
but
doesn't say anything.
Kat
like
says
that.
we're good friends, when she's planning her birthday. So There's some kind of communication mess
You know
up
what's
here.
interesting to me is that publicists are also known for having to play around with a lot of different pieces in the puzzle when you're creating stories and you're getting stuff out there. But it doesn't seem as if Brenda's having that same success. Like, she just kind of goes in a meeting, she's like, we're working on this and that. Kat, on the other hand, she has all these little players in different areas, and she's putting the pieces together, and maybe there's a little jealousy on a career front that she's not able to work her
like jealous on
sources
all
in
fronts.
the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's tough also seeing someone younger than you who you probably would like to do the same thing as doing really well. I would say that maybe, you know, I don't know. Maybe that has to do with it a little bit. I don't know.
She's going through a divorce, though, right?
It's over.
It's done.
over.
It's done.
Divorce is pain. I've never been divorced. I don't know, but I hear that the pain of divorce can last years. She might be still dealing with the.
It doesn't give her the right to take it out on everybody.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
just saying.
not
Okay,
excuse.
Like, go to
no,
the gym.
I'm just saying. I think probably in a woman's life, when
Not
you're getting
like she's fat. Go to the gym and take it out on the weights.
endorphins. She's talking about endorphins.
Yes,
endorphins.
happy.
Okay, I'm saying she's could just still be picking up the pieces from the insecurity that's come from going through divorce, and she's taking it out on people like Kat, who genuinely seem to think that they're friends, and she's playing other pieces. I don't know. We'll see how it unfolds.
She's a PR chick, so maybe she is playing the game.
And, go ahead.
I think it's funny because they always say stuff about New York women, like how they have like this front and this attitude.
It's rough, yeah.
Yeah. And then like I don't know if Kat is from LA, but
She's
she
from
does.
New Jersey. They're all from
No, Brenda's
Brenda's-
from New Jersey.
Where's
Who's
Kat from? Richards,
Midwest.
you know? Midwest.
She's
Midwest.
from the
okay.
Midwest.
But
Cool.
she
Right.
like kind of embodies that Valley Girl vibe. Like she's really funny and flirty and like cute
She
and
says some crazy
and
things.
yeah, and Brenda's just like tough. And I feel like they really tried. At least Bravo wanted to drive these characters.
Yeah.
I like how dramatic it got after she said her cock block was heard around the world, and it was like they're in the bathroom and they're like, oh my god, you have to say something, and it was really dramatic, and then it cuts to like, ha ha, everybody's kikiing upstairs having a cocktail.
No.
Like, really?
Well, what did you guys think about that? The comment, you're dating.
The truth or
Well,
dare?
I wanna-
and we're in our mid 30s.
Let's get in that in a little bit because I just
Okay,
want to
all
like
right, all right.
I want to let this
We're
moment
bursting
have
in.
it. Do you think it makes me sad sometimes because it looks like Kat thinks that they're friends, obviously, but and Kat's giving her all this information, basically like, oh, this married chef texts me being like, I want you, and all this stuff, like giving her all this ammo basically to use against her, and obviously she does use it against her later in the season.
She does.
It just makes me sad that Kat doesn't, well, she'll know now, but I guess, and later in the season she'll know. But it just makes me sad that Brenda is going to use this against her whenever Kat thinks they're actually friends.
But question, shouldn't Kat be a little more self-aware that Brenda doesn't seem entirely... I mean, when I watch this scene, Kat's just talking. I don't know if it's editing, but Brenda's just kind of listening. She's not really contributing much back in the same way.
Yeah.
What do
Is
you
that
guys
because
think
she's
about
not dating anybody? She's
Well,
not
Maybe she doesn't
that
need
was
an ad.
implied.
Yeah.
I mean, Kat's got a monopoly on all the chefs in LA, it seems
Mhm.
like. Like, she's putting work.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because she says that Kat has this reputation about how she writes about everyone she sleeps with and sleeps with everyone she writes about or whatever.
Yes.
But really, what Brenda is doing is the exact same thing, because she's using Kat just as much as Kat might be using these other chefs.
Mm-hmm.
And if anything, she's backstabbing and using a girlfriend, which I think is even worse than flirting with some boys.
Yeah, and there was a line at the very end of the episode that I really kind of stuck out for me is Brenda said, because there are so few women in the food industry, we have become a tight-knit community, but it's also a lot of cattiness that happens. And that's, like you were saying earlier about women, it's like you backstab each other without even like letting it really become something.
Right.
You know, like instead of supporting each other, it's just like, you know, before you even let it happen. So it's
Which is
interesting to see on TV.
Yeah, because they're not all in the same profession.
No.
So they don't have to, like, bring each other down to get to the next ladder of success. Because
Yeah.
they're all in different fields of this culinary world. So that's interesting.
That's a good
It's
point,
almost
actually.
unnecessary.
But maybe with chef world to me, or the food industry, it seems that some people just shoot to notoriety really fast, or notoriety, and there's something about it that people are very intrigued. So maybe in this world, it's like they want to just be known for something. You have to find a niche, because you can't just be like, I cook. It has to be, I do this. It's always something, like food industry, new restaurants, it's something special. It's
You're bringing
fresh,
something new to the
a
table.
new twist.
Yeah.
And I think that they're all searching for that way in which they'll have people respect and know who they are, but they're trying to find it.
Yeah, and I liked at the beginning, I think Nina said at the very beginning, like whenever they're showing the montage of them introducing it basically, and she said LA is the place where you come to make a name for yourself in this industry. I think that was really cool.
Is that true though? That's New York.
I mean, I'm sure it's New. I mean,
yeah.
Well, they're all from.
Well,
maybe
maybe-
all but 2 of them are from New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I don't know because I don't know when I go to New York. I
So why
lived there
come
for
here?
years, but one of them came after her divorce. The other ones might just. I mean, LA's exciting. They kept mentioning this is a hot spot for celebrities, this, that. If it's going to come down to wanting to make your name and who was spotted at this restaurant or this paparazzi captured them exiting, LA's a very big place for that, if that's something you're interested in.
And what do you think about, I think Jess, is going to, I think she's going to be a little Nat within this little fight, I think, a little bit. Because she seems like she's really on Team Cat, and she's like, the first moment we met each other, we were kind of like sisters. And then you see them planning Brenda's party and stuff, and they were all gung-ho about it. And then, I don't know, I just think she could get involved a little bit too much. I don't know, I see that quality in her, maybe.
Maybe it's that sorority girl in her.
Yeah. You never know. You never know. Speaking of sorority girls,
You're sitting next to one.
Yes.
It's okay, I was one too.
You can go and judge us on iTunes, and you can listen to podcasts with an S on your phone if you'd like, and give us 5 stars. We'd love to have that. If you want to give us a little bit less, at least give us a little feedback so we know. And also, if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much. We love you. We'll see you back next week. So let's get into the last thing of this episode.
The pot of penises?
The pot of penises. Brenda's birthday. Brenda's birthday. And I liked that Jess was there planning the setting up the party, because I feel like that's the girl. She's like your go-to girl who's gonna make shit happen.
Totally.
The sorority girl.
She's that girl, plans it, and is not gonna take no for an answer. I like that. Because she's the boss. The boss. And then we see Miss Brenda have a little drinks at at Kat's apartment, and it was a little drunk too fast.
Yeah,
but it's her birthday.
She was turned up for her birthday, what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Was it 40th? Or was
No,
it
she
was
said she was
late
closer
30s.
to 40.
Oh, okay.
Late 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I was just wondering why she got a plant. I was like, is that the 40th birthday gift? You get a plant?
There you go. Have fun. What?
Yeah, I didn't
She
get
got
that.
some really, really bad.
Package of
Those
sausage,
gifts?
a pot of
Come
penises.
A pot of penis.
I mean, even before that, though, when she walked in, she didn't seem very excited. She's like, I hate surprises. I was like, ooh, this girl
I
is
hate when people
appreciative.
say that. I'm like, that they like surprises.
Come
Because it's like
on.
people thinking of you. That's, I don't know.
Or even if not, at least act a little bit more excited. You know what I mean? You can fake it a little bit. They
Grateful.
just threw you a surprise party.
Yeah, and one thing that really stuck out for me was Waylynn calling out Kat about, she was like, this is really selfish that she would have Brenda's birthday at Shore Bar which the guy that owns it is the guy that Kat wants to get with.
Right.
I mean, do you think that's selfish?
Well, she didn't say it's really selfish. She was like, is it selfish? I don't know.
She's an
Okay, it's
opportunist.
really-
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
she's implying it.
She's an opportunist.
A little bit. I mean, for a little sex opportunist.
I don't know
I'll
if
say
it was necessarily selfish. Maybe a little bit.
I mean,
but
she probably got a
maybe-
good deal
I'm on
on
your
the
side.
space.
I'm on
Yeah.
your side. How is it selfish if she's trying to do him a favor by creating a huge episode where Bravo's featuring his bar? It seems as if she's very, very generous to do that.
And it's like she probably got a good deal on the space, too, and probably got a deal on the food and the drink, so it's
Well, I
like,
think
why the hell not?
Bravo paid for all of that, so
Yeah.
it didn't come out of her pocket.
Yeah, production had to be cleared somehow. I'm just saying.
They're all at craft services in the corner.
And then we see Nina propose to play Truth or Dare, which I was like,
No.
at a birthday party, just let it happen. I don't know if games are necessary, but maybe
Okay,
Nina saw
yeah,
a lull in
public.
the night, and she was like, let's play Truth or Dare.
I agree with
whatever,
Waylynn.
There's
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
about Waylynn that she's just such a grown woman.
Woman.
The things that come out of her mouth, she's just like, she
Hell
says
no.
it
Yeah.
so clearly, she's just like, no.
I think
no.
she said I'd rather tie a brick to myself and go swimming than play Truth or Dare at a birthday party when we're in our 30s.
And I love that Nina started this game probably not knowing that it was going to cause drama, but it caused some drama. And eventually we get to Brenda asking Nina Truth or Dare, and Nina's like, Truth. And she said, how do you feel about Kat O'Dell? In the first place, why the hell would this question ever come up? And Nina was like, she's my homie, what? And then Brenda, you see her give her a shade face, a side eye, whatever. And I was like, okay, all right. And then I love that John who was with Kat, or Kat was trying to get with, was like, "Are you two friends?" And,
Right.
and then Kat
Called
was like,
it.
"Don't answer that." I was like, "Oh shit, here we go." And then we see, who was next? Was it Kat that got asked the question, or was it Brenda that got asked a question?
Brenda asked Kat, truth or
Truth.
dare.
Oh yes.
How many people, or like, are you sleeping with 4 more people?
4
in
or
it?
5 more people. Whew, and then the music stops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drama, production infused.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but this really bothered me. And I don't know if Brenda was told to ask that question or not, but you don't ask someone who's sitting next to you, what do you really think about Kat Odell when you were just at her house and she threw you the surprise party?
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I'm saying. I feel bad for Kat that she doesn't know that these ulterior motives that Brenda has about her.
Yeah.
Like, she
That's
doesn't
extremely
know.
rude and so phony. So why would you even want to spend your birthday with her
Right.
if you have to ask other people, how do you really feel about Kat Odell?
Yeah.
Scripted.
Mm-hmm.
You think so,
You
right?
think so?
Totally.
Scripted.
And then that moment in the bathroom, of course, was a little bit scripted. It's
Oh,
like,
a
okay,
little lot.
It's like, okay, conversation, let's have it, you know?
Yeah.
But, and then we see at the very end, they're kind of okay, but then you see Brenda look at Kat and John, and there's a little bit of, like, vindictive jealousy going on behind her eyes. You can tell that she's just, like, a little sad.
But
and I
I don't-
understand, I guess, you know.
I don't think John seemed to care. If anything, it probably made her seem like more of a conquest. That
For
like he's
sure.
getting attention right now, but there's all these other guys waiting in the sidelines. Like I think it totally might have backfired on.
And he
Or-
also might think, like, she doesn't want she obviously isn't into commitment, so she's a non-committal.
Maybe he's not in a commitment. It is
Yeah.
Yeah.
hard to tell
Maybe
with these
that's what
people.
he's looking
You
for.
never know. I guess the time will tell. with
I
this
think
show.
one of Brenda's main issues with Kat, obviously it has to do with this male competition. They're both single. They're both trying to find a man. And she makes a point to say that she doesn't know if Kat is really dating these people or she just goes and says this about all of them. So she's kind of like, they're off the table. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think so
Maybe.
because why would she need to claim territory over competition with Brenda? I don't think there seems to be.
Shade.
All right, we're
was
being
honest. I
honest
liked it.
tonight.
Go.
I'm just
Go.
saying there's something extremely charming, charismatic about Kat, and Brenda seems to be having a lot of guards up.
Uh-huh.
If she let those walls fall down, maybe it would work to her benefit.
Mm. Well, I'm excited to see what this show is going to bring. So let's get into some news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, here we go. I'm going to talk about the Tom Colicchio thing because he
Yes.
got in a Twitter war with Kat saying, "Is she even like a food critic?" And supposedly Eater LA had said something bad about his friend's restaurant, and he was all up in arms about it. He was like, "I don't even know who Eater LA is. Like, who are you? Like, I don't think you're even like a legit press."
Now, was this
Agent.
Tom or was this his crew of fans?
No, this was
because
Tom.
Tom's a grown ass man. Like he
Tom.
has other things to be doing
No,
than
this
getting
was
in a Twitter beef.
This was Tom.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
can't.
I know though. Okay, with Misadvised, Julia Allison, they created her L column to make her a dating columnist. It was completely created by Bravo for her to have that title on the show. But you seem
you know, Kat.
You seem to know that Kat was writing this way before the show.
Yeah, I mean, I think even if you look back, you could see there's been, I mean, she's an editor for Eater LA.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't read it. You
If
have,
you-
so
if
you know
you-
that she has. But
If you Google Kat Odell right now, you can go to her link on Eater LA and see all the
All the-
articles that
yeah.
she's written.
Okay,
so
cool.
she's like a legit.
we gotta watch out with Bravo
Blogger.
because they sometimes have, times where there's things that are fluffed up. So that was on Misadvised. I'm not saying that about Kat at all. I have no idea.
so
but
what's Tom? So Tom is just upset that she.
He thinks
gave
that they're
bad
not
review.
he thinks that they're not a legit source, and here they are spreading bad things about, things that he's passionate about, and they're not even like a legit source. So, and he says they misquoted him on some things, like in
That's
quotes and stuff.
frustrating,
So
That's
I don't
really
know.
unprofessional.
It's a little shady
That's
business. But also, I read this article today about in LA Weekly about the show, and it was pretty scathing. And I was kind of surprised by this because I
Really?
think this show represents women in the food industry in a really great light, I think. I mean, we haven't seen the whole season, and they haven't either, but this is just their opinion on the first episode. And this is a woman writer writing the article, and she was just like, it shows women with jobs in the LA food scene, but it shows them in a bad light. Like, she doesn't like all the drama. She thinks they're all playing characters, and it's just, I don't know. It makes me. I understand where she's coming from, like a frustrated place, but it's also. She says they're not women. They're not doing any favors to women in the food industry.
But do we find that a lot of times when something, has a little bit of negativity, like Princess Long Island, people in Long Island were up in arms. Now people in the food industry up in arms that women are like this. I mean, there always seem to be people that, I don't know if it's the fact that they're not getting notoriety or they're not being featured in the same way, but I think it always comes down to people just having that sense of like jealousy.
Well, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah, and that's great that everyone has an opinion, because you know that's what makes the world go round. That's what my mom used to tell me. She's like, everyone has an opinion, just like they have an asshole.
I was just gonna say everyone has a butthole.
That's what my mama said.
I forget where Kat was writing before Eater LA, but I know she left them to start this.
She did,
and I know there's been a lot of flack where people, and I forget where I read this, I think it was LA Mag, but I can't find it at the moment, where they said that if Kat Odell gets her own reality show, like, I'm not watching TV anymore. So there's obviously a lot of people.
Bon Appetit?
Yeah, she was, and yes, correct, Bon Appetit, which obviously we all know is a legitimate food source. So, I don't know, and then in this article that I read, she specifically said, I've been wanting to do a show. I don't know where my career could take me. And she sees this as a great opportunity. And I think she's kind of like banking on it and doesn't really care.
I think any press is good press for her.
Exactly.
I think it's great. I think she could honestly go on to maybe doing like a cooking show on Food Network, because she's beautiful and fun and vibrant. I think it would be awesome to watch her on a show like that. I think it'd be really cool.
But there's only 2 cooks out of these girls, right?
Yeah, Nina and
Waylynn.
Waylynn. And supposedly Kat does cook. I read that on her blog.
Does
she
she?
does cook as
Okay.
well. So it's like a thing for her. And if you check her Instagram out, she does feature a lot of food that she's cooking. So it's pretty interesting. I don't know, but I'm just really interested to see what this show is going to bring. I feel like the people are going to respond to it better after seeing this episode. You know what I'm saying? So
It
we'll
moves
see.
really quickly.
Yeah.
It's not really stalled. It's very fast moving in a good way.
Yeah. So let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
My prediction is that Kat is no longer going to be friends with Brenda after this show is done. And it's going to be awesome for season 2. I'm already predicting they're going to make a season. I really hope they do a season 2. I think Breaking Bad premiere is going to hurt the premiere episode tonight. But Bravo reruns these shows like crazy, so I think people will really catch on to this show.
Are the same people that watch Breaking Bad going to be watching?
Yeah,
Probably not. Probably not in that 18 to 49 range or whatever they go for these reality shows. But what do you think? Predictions?
I think there's going to be a pot of spaghetti thrown on somebody.
Ooh, stain that shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to pot of spaghetti.
Tide pin to go. Go.
I think that Jessica is going to be the troublemaker of the group.
Ooh.
I think Waylyn's definitely going to see something come out of her having to deal with this crush guy and all of his ways. I mean, she's definitely going to have a big payoff for being adorable, having a little Photoshop. I think she's going to, definitely have some saucy romances this season.
Can't wait for that.
I'd watch that on her.
Yeah, saucy, because you just said pasta. So. Full circle.
Tasty
Sorry, corny
romances,
joke.
maybe.
But thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait for this season to continue, and I can't wait to share it with all of you. I'm Jake DuPree. You can find me on Twitter at Jake_DuPree and on Instagram at Jake DuPree.
I'm Fahnia Thomas, and you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Fahnia Thomas.
I'm Kristina Zias, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook at Miss Zias.
And I'm Cassidy Gard, and I am on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you, guys.
Bye. See you next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.